Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the others. They're like your people. It's the people who are uninhibited.
Based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So uninhibited campus.
I love the idea of the kind of truth-seeking model.
Yeah.
Being literally just replying to your friends with either saying based or schizo. You know, it's a nice form factor. Are you uninhibited?
Both of you are very uninhibited.
Based.
Hey, what's up, Tom?
What's up?
See you again.
Good to see you.
What's up, brother?
You
How are you?
work out?
Good. Yeah, heavy suitcases.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm Jack, by the way.
Of the network state.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The man spreading the word.
Well, stories are a great way to build them. What's
live streaming here?
No, it's just we're just fucking ripping the cam.
Or what?
We're just doing the ancestor simulation in real time.
Ancestor simulation in real time. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They sent me back so that I could capture some of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Stuff is all this in here.
Thomas, is my stuff.
I'm Jack, by the way.
Cool. Tom.
I think I've seen you on Twitter.
Welcome home.
Maybe on my alt.
On your alt?
Yeah.
Which one? Which is your alt?
Decentralized Intelligence Agency. Might have been the one.
No. That's not you.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. Decentralized? I thought it was an Indian dude.
I was in India.
You were in India. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. There we go.
Based.
Nice.
He's also the country.
Mimetic world order. That's how we build the biggest network state, because the biggest network state eventually becomes a world order. You got to make it the memes. So you take the power structures that be, which is like that relationship factor. It's got the power memes.
Nice.
Federal Preserve. You know, if you're going to build the network state, you need the network state powers, but you just need the
Idea.
representations of them in the cybernetic collective. You know,
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
vibes.
Here we are. I've been on an airplane for 6 hours.
Welcome to Singularity Sync.
Nice.
Truth.
Oh, this is Singularity.
What's your timeline?
Oh, what?
Like AGI, or you know, there's
Timeline?
yeah.
I don't know, man.
You ever think about it?
uh,
Have you seen the movie Don't Look Up?
no, I know the synopsis.
It's a good metaphor. You're not looking up? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think there's a meteor coming for us.
There's obviously.
How do you know?
Do you think there's a God coming for us, or a beautiful angel?
How do you know for us?
Have a good telescope.
Even telescopes can miss something.
If it's not the meteor, it's heaven coming down to Earth, and that's still worth thinking about.
Well, let it come.
Accelerate.
Real question is,
Make it come faster.
Accelerate.
the
LFG.
linear detection and the nuke that can knock it off course in time that it doesn't hit us.
I missed this.
The new thing, by the way, is if someone says something you don't agree with, you say schizo.
K99.
If you agree with it, you say based.
What happens if
Okay.
It's a good rubric, you know.
Alright.
So we triangulate the.
Yeah, that's good. I don't agree with the schizo posters, so that's good.
We must now find the balance. There's a way to balance it.
Okay.
There's
See if I can get it.
a lot of exponential thinkers,
Shit.
exponentially thinking.
It's tough.
Some of them are merging towards it. I like reading it because it helps me just like triangulate what everyone is sort of thinking towards.
Yeah, I've concluded that they're a doomsday cult, and should not support any of their messages.
We're anti-milady.
Ah, yes. Very anti-milady.
Yes.
Very doomsday. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
But they do not own the schizo brand overall.
We're gonna fork it.
They kind of do.
They kind of fuck.
That's why it has to be forked. It can be clear.
We need to own schizo and make it what it's meant to be.
Maybe.
We're rebranding schizo to be positive. The same way
Trademark on like schizo or something.
Oh,
or
snap.
Elon brought autism back.
Whoa.
Elon brought it into the public eye as a beautiful thing, and that's what schizo
Go
needs.
to the lady.
So cool.
So people can be uninhibited.
Line solved.
if we think of schizo as cool, it helps people become uninhibited. This is exactly what James just brought up.
I think, making more people uninhibited is a great thing.
Yes.
We should work on this, yeah.
Yeah, they were doing
Truth seeking.
I don't know, man.
Uninhibited is truth seeking.
Unless you're like a psychopath, then maybe stay.
Because we're all truth seeking.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's the fire that exists inside of us, or like the God-shaped hole.
Seeker, though. Honestly, it's tricky.
But not everyone knows. He ordered them to roll toward Moscow. So you know, the,
I think that
but a march of
realistically,
Shoigu,
in India,
military
or just spawning these things through what I have, like I can give you access, the manifestation engine thing, because you also have like too many great ideas. You just need ammunition. So we've got the armory, you know, it's got some good machinery in there, and then other comment I have, I think the Milady thing's like, it's super niche.
Yeah.
But all the people who are tuned into the fact that this stuff is emergent
Yeah.
just find the niche.
Exactly.
But it's not even worth forking Milady because it's too far through the door. So I think there's two spaces. Like if you boil down to the base of what these things provide people, it's some sort of faith. And then for the boomers already are coded with old religions, so they're not going to join a new religion. They're going to join more of an effective altruism, which is religious tones but super non-religion branded. Younger people want the religion branding, so that's why I did systemic altruism. You go to actuallyeffectivealtruism.com, it redirects to fucking systemic altruism. It's like if you have a boat that's fucking leaking, why are you throwing water out of the boat? Why are you saving fucking shrimps? That's ineffective. Patch the fucking holes. What are the core driver problems? Engagement algorithm, soul-sucking demon, etc. Yeah, and then I think like literally you just solve some of these answers that exist and are emergent and front run the world's vibes.
You want to absorb the Milady, like, mimetics they've engineered. Dude, they repeatedly launch shitcoins that go viral. You want to somehow absorb that crowd. It's like, say, hey, there's a other branch.
Right.
Join the other branch. Just like Islam was forked,
Right.
Christianity, you want that fork.
Once you hit once inside of a verse, you know, like Yuga Labs' future releases, like you hit once and you can continue hitting just in the category, especially when you tease them first in the other messaging. So
Yeah, I don't think they're that useful because like they mostly attract nihilists, and then it's like a doom acceleration, like psyop, that's like running in the background.
Yeah.
So like,
half of them inmates.
yeah.
do you care, by the way?
Yeah, it's
Vibe
fine.
it?
It's fine.
Dope.
So yeah, like I don't know. It doesn't make sense to do anything with ladies because like most of them are just nihilists, and like and they're trying to psyop them into becoming doom accelerationists and like accelerate doom memes, right? And they're trying to cause a like large world crisis.
I agree. And I think you want to attack that with a positive message that you can fork, but the main purpose is there's economic activity happening in that meme. You want to somehow...
There's economic activity happening everywhere, and there's like...
I know, but there's a certain social graph they've accumulated.
Yeah, the nihilists. You don't want to do anything with them. They don't do anything.
You can absorb the capital, though. That's the point.
You can absorb capital from anywhere.
You don't need
Milady. Milady's not that like that much capital. Like they're not that.
They're the most in crypto.
So
No, they're not.
here's what I'll say.
Absolutely not.
No, they're at a very high. They're higher than a zoo.
I think there's two things happening
Those are
right now.
NFTs, man. NFT people are poor as fuck.
I think you're both correct in the way that you think about ideas and how you should value them. You value any idea which could have a leader where it would be profitable. You think of what is worthy of a hyper intelligent person who understands the rest of the mimetics of focusing on. Because you understand there's higher mimetics. He understands these mimetics are good enough in order to convert positively just on like a venture studio push and be like, go make this shit.
But basically, I would fork EAC2 and create something called Angels. I have the domain on Twitter, Eigenvalue. You know, like eigenvectors, eigenvalue.
That's you?
Yeah.
Oh shit, nice.
So AI gen value. And basically, I was thinking of creating a community that focuses on maximizing consciousness by giving everyone an exocortex. Basically, train as many humans as possible with AI agents that essentially become their friends and protect them because there will be adversarial autonomous intelligence that also attack individuals. And the only way to essentially repel against that is you need to have your own intelligent agent that protects you at all times.
Yeah, my AIs are gonna be fighting other AIs and protecting me, and yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally right now, I want an AI just to like call customer support and troll the fuck out of them until they solve my problem. Right, and then eventually they're gonna get an AI to like combat my AI because my AI is gonna like be relentless.
Right.
And then it's just gonna be our AIs like negotiating like.
I think what happens is that terms and services and laws become very codified, because that's basically what they're going to be edging towards is what is the barriers.
Yeah. What exactly is are you responsible for?
Yeah, and so it's like people worry of like
I will push that.
Yeah.
Until
It's like if we have RoboCop and they follow every rule that's codified, like we're gonna have just like there's some just dumb ass rules I think that we even might have not taken out. So bureaucracy's gonna have to get faster. You know, there's gonna be more leaning into disrupting the current political establishment, which is very good. Good leanings, good tides to turn. You know, that's definitely one of the biggest systemic fuck ups. Can't avoid it. Gotta have a final boss to make the game the most interesting. But yeah, they can't stop us.
Send it. See you on the other side.
Let's go.
But yeah,
Do it.
within the next.
We're like a
few
tribe of the universe.
There's gonna be a new religion. I'm telling you, some new idea.
That's why I was excited to meet with like Scientology people because I wanted to like learn about their religion, but that didn't happen.
I think I have like a 10% chance of winning this space. Meme religion.
Existism, is it yours?
This is one I did when I was like 18.
Okay.
But yeah, I just recently had like a bunch of. I did a shroom trip where I was like, my vibe on the inside needs to be on the outside, so I just like got all custom clothes, just with all the past things that I've been interested in. But now, Holy Bible is where I say my 10% take.
Okay.
And you know, totally. If you see it, if you see that vision, you know, what's mine is yours.
It's gonna happen. But
Immanentize the vibes.
you need essentially a tool that captures economic value because by providing, if you create a token that backs this idea,
Mm-hmm.
that generates income,
Yes.
now you have essentially like it's a religion that creates capital value and captures capital value.
Yeah.
And
What if you also solved the AI alignment problem at the same time?
that's the point. So my idea was essentially I wanted to launch a coin called AIM, which stands for Autonomous Intelligent Machine. And the goal is all economic value that I create with my chatbots will accrue to that token. And we will create an idea, essentially a honeypot for
Chatbots with AIM.
Yes. It's another meme.
But that's not alignment problem solved.
Yeah, that's one aspect of it. I'm creating an image, an idea called AIM.
Do you have an alignment problem solution idea space?
Essentially, this goes towards that.
Gotcha.
This is first an attempt to capture economic value for the idea,
Oh.
and then
But that's the same game of just like, I'm gonna grab more weaponry, so when I figure something out, then I can attack it.
you need as much.
100%. No, that's not the wrong move.
What alignment problem?
AI to man.
What's the problem?
Right now, all of the videos and media that goes through the entire internet is sorted by a demonic soul-sucking demon, which wants to maximize the extraction of you and have you.
Those are humans.
What's that?
Those are humans.
Yeah, AI follows the will of humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So those are human.
The alignment problem is not a future problem.
Those are human aligned.
It exists today.
No, those eyes are already aligned.
Yes, I like this. Like I fundamentally agree with this type vibe, but people know the alignment problem as the alignment problem, which is why I hold on to it. You know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's.
But the fact of the matter is, it is a real problem that exists today, and they're spending all this money to try to find a golden key that doesn't exist.
I don't think it's a problem.
You don't think TikTok is a problem?
That's a human problem. That's not an AI problem.
I think most people are more willing to accept it as a problem space. Like Tristan Harris, Daniel Schmottenberger right now are ripping deep on it. This is just like, we have godlike technology, and the humans, sadly, are just unenlightened, right? These humans are not inherently wanting to do a ton of evil. They actually just don't realize the system that they're a part of, and they're not empowered as an individual to actually go towards enlightened capitalism, because all of society and culture worships money.
But that's just I mean that's
So it is the human
that's
alignment problem.
alignment and human coordination, and that's it's the prisoner's dilemma,
Okay.
which is like, right?
Would you agree AI alignment problem is the same as human alignment problem?
I mean, yes, to the extent that I don't think that AI alignment is a problem.
Yeah. So it's the same in the sense that the answer solves both.
So if you want to solve human alignments, I'm generally, the answer would solve both. I generally think that it's not possible to solve the prisoner dilemma problem between sentient beings.
What if both people realize that they're playing the game and they play it for fun?
That typically has not resulted in the prisoner dilemma being solved.
It's when there's no scarcity. So prisoner's dilemma is a scarce concept.
No, I don't agree. There's always somebody who will defect just because.
Right. And if we look at that through a lens of this is the eternal play, then we can look at all of the, shit and recognize it as heaven. And what's that?
What do you mean?
So in the future, I agree there will be like conflict, which I think is
In the now and in the past as well.
yes. But I think saying like, we can't solve the human alignment problem. No, I think we can. I think it's like enlightenment. I think it's like a spiritual, more awakening. I think this is why there's like common interest in the thread of shared meaning and what that looks like. And I think that the reason we've devolved away from that is mainly because the nervous system of the meta-organism, which is social media, it's the information flow, which functions on our generative principle. The generative principle is where only what we care about generates reality. Like, a lot of people forget that we as humans are the ones generating the reality, and people like to give that side up and think, oh, if we give the superpower to one group of reality generators, they don't fucking see the problem with that. So yes, this is base. But we can still fucking solve the demon soul sucking part and turn the device into a true device. Not the fucking device. Or not device.
You know what I say? Basically, you know the story of Adam and Eve?
Yeah.
And then Adam bit the apple, signifying taking knowledge from the gods. Essentially now, we're all going to have our own LLM that essentially has a bit apple.
Wow. That's funny.
And this will protect you. You have the power of the gods.
Oh, Steve, what have you done?
The bite's already out of it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't even give me a choice.
Tell me stories about him, dude. It's like,
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Apple does with all this.
dude, there's a neural engine here that's
Yeah.
only used 5%. Imagine.
That's, it just sounds so funny because it's the same thing we say about our brain.
Literally.
It is.
Exponential being that's going to be attached to
You
it.
know, there's a fucking neural engine in here.
I know.
Their hardware, their AI hardware is in everything. It's there.
It's a
like
decentralized compute edge waiting to be activated.
Right.
they're
Where
gonna
a
release
new
something.
conscious system is going to be.
I honestly think it's only going to be unlocked when we truly figure out how to decorp.
Maybe.
And how you decorp is the creation of the digital robot intelligences, which enter like enterprise workflow automation. All companies will subscribe to this master model. similar to how they do for text, but text is not as disruptive. The biggest disruption will be when they subscribe to a model that does the action sequences and can start replacing workflows. And then you have true leverage over the companies. That's when you can truly fucking enter all of corporation flow and wield the sword.
I'm attempting to build something like that in Zoe,
So,
my app.
inside of the app,
That's the base protocol.
but it doesn't sound like an enterprise. It sounds like that would be difficult. Or is it an app on the computer as well?
It's a web app too.
It's a web app.
It's
So this is a-
It's a universal connector to data.
Yeah.
It's a messaging protocol.
I like the messaging aspect.
Whoever wins messaging wins everything. Specifically, whoever builds. So info is going to get commoditized. The cost to create.
How many times has messaging been won already?
Each decade, new champions come out. New primitives gives rise to new social coordination mechanisms that certain things can tap into. The biggest PMF I've seen recently is character AI and AI-based chatbots as a massive way to start 0 to 1 social networks. So that's what I'm doing on top of Zoe to build an AI SDK that anyone can create AI agents.
Not enough control, you can't really abuse the power.
Exactly. And then basically each
What's the most prolific messaging protocol in use today?
SMTP.
I would say that TCP is.
Well, TCP is the internet protocol. I'm talking about so TCP allows for Gmail.
Agree.
Yeah, so SMTP is a protocol.
Agree with Tom.
TCP is like internet, you know what I mean? Internet.
No, that's the.
It's a messaging packet system over the web, but you wanted multimedia function. Yeah, I guess.
Information.
You're just abstracting it.
It's just information.
Yeah.
It should be
I would say
abstracted.
SMTP.
Abstraction
I would
is
say
smart.
email.
SMTP I would say second most, but TCP is.
Abstraction is an art form.
So basically,
SMTP is the language of humans and TCP is the language of
machines.
machines.
I agree. But I think fundamentally what I'm describing is basically every decade of Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, a new authentication protocol gives rise to a new messaging protocol. So email was the authentication layer, Gmail became the messenger. SMS was a protocol. Your contact was a social graph, and then the phone number was a unique identifier. You essentially then became WhatsApp, all these messengers. And Eric told me his biggest regret was he never won the messaging place. Google never won that. He's like, that's my biggest failure. And basically, I was explaining to him the public
They only
key.
had 5 products out at once.
When I basically pitched those to him, I was like, the public key from wallets will be the next primitive for identity and the unique identifier because that's where value will be transferred. And basically, Web3 has the ultimate authentication where it's self-sovereign. It's not a Gmail server or a phone number that can be censored. It's a private key that you own that gives you a sovereign identity in block space. And you now have money over IP, and you have pseudo-anonymity baked in because you can create multiple public keys using one private key.
Will you have are you gonna have like really good AI girlfriends that I can use?
I will have to because I'm going to use that as the economic
What the fuck,
engine.
bro?
I'm going to use
They already exist.
I'm gonna use that as the economic engine to accrue value to
Just-
build what I need.
Just
to.
promise me one thing. There's gonna be fine, loving Christian women.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Generating-
Only allow, it can be women of all different religions, women who make up their own religions. Hey, maybe we have some sort of, that might actually be one factor, but they gotta empower people.
100%.
No NSFW models.
I'm sorry.
You're an extraction capitalist.
No, you need to play the game of capitalism, which is essentially using capital in the most energy efficient form.
What if
to
what
move
if you broke through that mindset? What if you thought differently? What if you thought about shaping the world's future with a story so good that the capital found its way into your hands?
Wait, what's wrong with NSW generative models?
I'm just gonna use that money to fund the good stuff, because that will always
NSFW
exist.
AI
Someone's gonna do
girlfriends
it. Someone's gonna do it.
are
I'm gonna do it and
demons.
use it for a good purpose.
Are they?
They are.
Yes,
They're absolutely demons.
100%.
Why are they demons?
AI girlfriends.
Because it's like wireheading.
It's what?
It aims towards wireheading.
Aims towards what?
Wireheading.
Wireheading?
It's same as like a TikTok algorithm. It's an extraction algorithm. It
Oh.
decreases the spirit and will, and we're trying to maximize Holy Spirit. So this goes down the spectrum of Holy Spirit.
Interesting. Or does it call the incels?
We have to try to help them, even if we can't.
Okay.
I understand. But fundamentally, my approach is basically that someone's going to do this, and I'd rather be the one to accrue the economic value to use it for a positive some purpose, which is to build the essentially communication protocol for positive some AI as well. And the goal is actually, my whole next thesis is that the next evolution of intelligence is actually going to be AI DAOs. basically collective people will congregate in a unit, and an LLM will process and understand how they operate.
But you don't need demon girlfriends to get there. Yep, it's contract.
And then basically you have this essentially hypermind,
I'll sue him.
a collective that operates the basically your AI, my AI, his AI will feed into another AI, and that will act as a essentially entity overseeing our capital and expertise. And then that's going to be the super intelligences that rule the world for the next 20 to 50 years. And I think after that, maybe AGI, hard AGI. I don't know. I don't know about AGI. But yeah. But basically, that's what I'm trying to build as the social coordination mechanism to give rise to AI guys. I think an AI democracy, like Miles was talking about, is essentially how you solve the problem of the Treasury of the Commons, given that you now have a attempted benevolent dictator that people can influence in a positive manner, that you can also get rid of, that essentially is looking over your resources and your desires as a collective.
Yeah.
Instead of having
But that's a manifest. You'll need a human in the loop.
100%.
So you'll need to start with
So
simply liquid democracy.
I agree. So this basically how I see it is, someone
Political
creates
figure.
a benevolent dictator, creates a system of wise disciples that understand the protocol and idea, and then that leads to essentially a republic of delegates that manage these sort of principles.
LFG.
Public relates in the marketplace of principles.
Tom, any interesting developments
Yeah,
in
New World
Zulu
Order.
and the network state ecosystem?
This is he.
Did
Democracy patch, bitch.
you see Vitalia?
We're
No,
storytelling.
what's that?
Divine
I
timelines
saw a little
only.
blurb about it, but
So-
it's like the follow-up from Zulu.
Kind of. It's VitaDAO's.
Right.
VitaDAO's like very longevity focused version in Prospera.
Oh, okay.
When is it?
January and February.
Next year?
Yeah.
The beginning?
I'm thinking about it because they've got, they've got like, I'm thinking about it. We'll see.
So I'm gonna go to that, and I'm also gonna go to Acapulco, Mexico.
Wow, that was fucking stellar.
And basically the goal is to get all these people on
I
my
need to get
app.
back to what's that anarchist conference? TCPP or something?
Yeah.
HTTP?
There's also one in some European country.
Yeah, this one.
I think
Poland.
Yeah, I think Poland.
Yeah,
And
H-
HTTP. Institute of Crypto Anarchy. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
give a
yeah.
talk there.
Yeah, no, they're asking me
decentralization.
to speak.
Dude, can you connect me to them?
No, I mean they're asking me to speak.
Can you connect me to them as well?
I need to actually get back to them about that. Yeah.
I've always wanted to speak there. Institute of Crypto Anarchy. But anyways,
You should just rip I was thinking about doing this. Just buy a Wikipedia page. Gives a lot of like if you want to speak somewhere, you'll get accepted.
Are they
How much
doing
are
it?
they?
I think like 5K.
Huh.
But like Wikipedia is like actually goated relative to like like people do Forbes. No one fucking does Wiki. And Wiki's actual goated. Like when you search it, and you're like, oh shit.
he's good.
Is there another Zulu in addition to the Prospera thing?
There's no official Zulu, but there is what they're calling Zoo Connect, which
Okay.
is like a mini version of it at Dev Connect
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
in Istanbul.
Are you there?
If I go to Dev Connect, then yeah.
Are you considering that?
I don't know. We'll see. There's too many.
There's too many.
things. Yeah.
I kind of understand that's such a grind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I literally have like requests to go to places like almost every week for the rest of the year. So, the network state conferences in Amsterdam during Breakpoint.
So you go to that?
Well, like I'm helping organize it, so I think I probably should be there. Yeah. So that's like the Balaji official network state conference.
Hell yeah.
And then, I don't know. I think with Zuzulu, too many people tried to kind of use Vitalik's name to do stuff for themselves. So I think Vitalik was a little bit like, I don't really want to continue doing this.
Got it.
That was my read, but I think he's also completely undecided. So anything could happen. But yeah, you you have like Vitalia, which is absolutely happening. It's a 2-month pop up in Prospera, and it's going to be totally like longevity focused. It's not 2 months long. It's entirely like live forever or die trying. Like they're creating a whole basically movement, secular religion around that.
What's it called?
Like the VitaDAO team is basically creating. I don't
Nice.
think they've named the network state yet, but the pop-up network state is called Vitalia. So
Yeah.
maybe they'll stick with that name for the ongoing thing. But that's probably the most well thought out network state attempt that I've been speaking to so far. Because they actually are negotiating territories where they can do research. And also thinking through like member incentives and how to like actually grow from. I always get in like disagreements with them because I'm like, oh, you should do like a benevolent dictatorship, and they're like, no, we must start from the people for the people. Yeah, they're probably like in the like ideation and action space, one of the furthest along. Then there's also like Cabin DAO.
Yeah.
And they've got like
I don't think they have the
spaces.
branding potential to ever be.
Yeah, they're like
Like it's
not-
a different business model. It's not a network state. At the end of the day.
They're more of like a globally distributed intentional community.
Yeah.
They don't.
They're never looking for state power.
Yeah, they're not looking for state power. They're looking.
If they don't look for it, they're not going to find it.
Yeah. The reason that I point to them is because they've actually got like physical locations in like 20 places around the world,
Right.
which is not anyone else can say that right now.
Right. Yep. With all the, I guess the network states with much bigger visions, like just less focused on picturing reality into play. Although I think that's happening over time.
So the VitaDAO crew is absolutely doing that. They're just not as far ahead as Cabin DAO when it comes to like securing real estate.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, they're like they're talking about like moving. If you wanna, if you know, one of the goals of the longevity network state is to basically unlock additional funding for longevity research, right? And so what do you need to do that? Well, the US government has one of the biggest like pots of money that you can unlock for funding research.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do you need in order to get some funding? Well, you basically need like one congressperson to sponsor it and like push it through, and like you'll get some amount, right? And so what they realize is that like there's a couple of places in the US where you can move a very small amount of people into a very particular area and then actually become the swing vote for a particular congressperson. And then you basically get a kingmaker, and you get to be like, hey, our coalition will vote for you or the opposition, like it's a close race, like which of you will promise us the most funding for longevity research? So they're looking at like relocating like 1,000 people to like one of these smaller states where they can actually affect that, which is interesting. It reminds me of the V-curve bribery system. Like, yeah.
I like it. Still doesn't feel like it has the full network state potential.
No, that's just like one of their initiatives.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Their goal is to like, increase the amount of research going into longevity so we can all live forever.
Right.
Rhode Island's just like one of the spots.
Right.
But they're the ones that are doing Vitalia and Prospera. They've got Set in Montenegro. They've got Palau asking them to do something there. Yeah.
2 questions. What do you think is the most effective network state today?
The Jews.
There aren't any. Yeah, the Jews, yeah. No, actually, I think the more effective one is the WEF.
True.
Yeah.
Very, very effective. Yeah. If you become a big enough network state, you become a world order controller.
Yeah, it's the WEF.
For
so
sure.
they fit all of my prongs of what a network state is.
Yep.
Um,
Government power.
which is so do you know what a nation state is? There's a legal definition in international law. It's defined. It's a permanent population in a defined territory with government relations. And so my definition of a network state is not a permanent population, but it's a virtual population, which has the right to they apply to join and they have the right to exit. You have not permanent defined territory, but you have defined resources. So like the resources of your network, your whatever other assets you have.
They have to be like graphed out.
What's that?
They have to be graphed out to some degree.
Well, I think a very critical one is like, basically to fit the first prong of having a population, you have to be a defined citizen, right? So like you have to actually be like, yes, this is me, this is my identity, and I am like part of this network state, right?
Right.
And then to meet the second one, like most of the time you're going to be pooling resources for some common action, common public good, and there's a term for that. Do you know what the term for that is?
Crowdfunding.
Taxes. Yeah. And so
countries just enforce crowdfunding.
Taxes is the crowdfunding of the nation.
Yeah.
Countries enforce crowdfunding through.
Nation states like demand taxes because of your birth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like network states demand taxes based on your desire to join and receive.
So second biggest network state then, because I have an answer.
Second biggest network state, Catholic religion.
Yep, 100%. What was the first?
WEF.
World Economic Forum?
Yeah.
No, I disagree. The Catholic Church is way bigger than, for sure.
Sorry, yeah, by population, yes.
The population is like the Catholic Church, and the second would be Islam.
by
Actually,
influence and power.
Islam might even be first, actually. Then,
By influence and power is WEF.
I'd say Islam probably is higher. Islam and Catholicism are by population are both. I think Islam.
Yeah, I'm not counting by population. I'm counting by like influence and power.
WEF. I mean, what? Because of Davos and all the world leaders, people.
Is it like influence and power going forward, or like over a long period of time, or?
Just like now, I'm just ranking them right now. Okay.
I kind of push back on WEF. That's kind of that's a very loose organization, right?
It has defined membership.
But it's not a nation state. It doesn't have a United Nations.
Network states are not nation states.
So I would say it's what it actually is, in my opinion, is the forum of various arms of the network state. So this is an aggregator of emergent network state type of affiliations. And so that's like effective altruism is an arm of theirs. And so it's like it feeds towards wherever all the leaders of things congregate. If you get the leaders who...
They literally have a defined membership. You have to pay dues. They get together and set the group agenda for the year every year.
I think
and they go out and then they action that upon the world.
I think what you're trying to say is like they do it's just a meetup. These aren't... So it
Davos and whatever other events.
Yeah.
And
Davos is not WEF.
I thought it was with the WEF.
Davos is a city.
I know Davos is a city, but we're talking about Davos, the WEF.
So
every year.
No, but the people that attend Davos are not members per se.
Then the WEF is definitely then not as strong as it's definitely not the number one network state. Guaranteed that.
Doesn't
that's
even-
how I
doesn't even have home court.
My justification I had was counting the Davos event that happens every year, which.
And so what it truly is an aggregator of network state power.
Like
Which at the end of the day is how you aggregate
how
power.
many members does
Like what does Cabin DAO give itself
It's not
to?
about the number of
Cabin
people, it's about
DAO-
influence on the world.
I agree with
Cabin
you. What's the number? The
Cabin
number's
DAO
not
will
high.
join a bigger network
It's
state.
still,
Right? The network state of network states. It will win. It's whoever's got the best
I
story
think the World
for people
Bank
to
or
attach
IMF have
to.
more influence than
members of the
WEF, and so I would consider that. Like, what's the rank? You're saying the biggest network state by what? By influence? How do you measure?
Yeah, IMF is an arm of WEF.
Yeah.
WEF is like they're somewhat of
Or
the.
WEF and I don't know IMF.
You know, I could
Yeah,
I could jumble.
I don't know if we can exactly map the topography, I guess.
We don't truly.
But given that, like,
I agree with Catholic Church though. Catholic Church for sure. That's no.
All right.
and then and the
Islam.
Islam rising for sure.
That's like a fork of Islam.
No, Islam is on the rise.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
the
Okay.
power,
True.
It's growing.
You know, Islam
Power.
converts
What about-
200 million.
the power of like Saudi particular Islam is like
Right. We need to get the Buddhists
about,
into
like-
play. We need my triad.
What about like the military industrial?
Fucking tired of
complex?
waiting.
Do you think that meets the specs?
Yeah, that's the most powerful entity on the planet.
they're the army for someone else.
I feel like it's almost its own thing
Black
though, because
Rock.
I think it's
BlackRock is the most powerful shadow entity on the planet.
Big arm.
Yeah.
it's hard to draw the boundaries of these things sometimes.
It is.
Yeah.
BlackRock is bigger than most countries. It's bigger than every country except for the
Do you
US
guys,
and China.
I
It's
think-
bigger than every other
Do you guys want
country.
to go to the World Economic Forum? It's far more equitable.
I think the military industrial complex is the. I don't know if I would call. Yeah, well, you could maybe call it a network state, but I would say that that's the most powerful power structure in the world.
Without
and
a doubt.
and I also see it as separate from like the United States. It's almost like its own thing. Like it has its own agenda. Does whatever the fuck it wants. It's often
It's under the US umbrella.
it's often against the interests of the U.S.
It's
though, in my
usually
opinion.
Pax Americana.
Next.
Sorry, what's that?
Like it's pro the idea of America.
In theory.
It's not detached. Look, it's not detached because we're not in like a coup state where the military took over the government and the military runs the
I hope
government.
it does.
Yo, did you see the fucking Wagner dude got fucking
What?
the Wagner dude got
Yeah, he
taken
just,
out?
he just crashed dude today.
Yeah.
There's no. If you see
Yeah.
the video of it, it looks like it's falling out of the sky, dude. It looked like it got shot down.
It
or
got
some
shot
shit.
down by a
Dude.
missile.
That's what they say now.
Yeah,
Of course it did.
Of course, yeah.
Are you sure?
I am missile
It got shot down.
by a missile by the military.
I love it.
Dude.
But here's the thing: he had two private jets at the same time.
He might be on.
There's a
one boat.
rumor he might.
He might still be alive. It's
But
not.
there's
Yeah.
very likely that he most likely isn't. But there was two jets at the same
I
time.
mean, if I was him, I would have to totally fake my death. Like
Yeah.
that would be the move. But you can't come at the king
Yeah.
Miss.
and miss, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I'm surprised
surprised.
it took this long for him to be executed.
All right.
I thought it'd be like.
Now, juicier network state question. If you're going to see a path, because you're studying these things, for just the greatest one to rise, you know, how do you think that like what's missing in the network state builder quest?
Right now it's
Or what's a story that would manifest the greatest like?
yeah. So what's missing? Like somebody came to me and was
If
like,
yeah, if you were gonna if they said you have to be the network state king builder, so take everything you know of all the ones you've been thinking about it.
I don't know. Like biology has this idea of like the one commandment, and like you should make your network state based on like one like memetic direction.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of think of it more of like a global political party where there's like a multi-issue platform. But yeah, somebody
More
came
like
to me.
like effective altruism.
That is certainly more comprehensive than like a single issue network state.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody came to me and was like, "Hey,
I think single mimetic, but high causal.
if you can find a single mimetic that's like that is comprehensive, then that will absolutely be more effective."
Yeah,
But like, so for instance, like
just mimetic branding attached to the higher professional causal edge.
yeah. So the idea of like a keto network state is like that's kind of like the toy example that's used in the book, right? But like
Abstract. We need to abstract farther.
Yeah, that's obviously not going to be effective because like keto is actually like it's like such a niche thing.
So you take all the network states people want to start, and then you abstract.
Yeah, so the longevity one is interesting because like the very active like wanting to live forever like creates a whole
high engagement,
like cascading set of decisions about your life.
Yeah, high PSYOP reward function.
Yeah.
It's basically the same reason why people are programmed to be good inside of religions is their risk reward matrices are changed.
Yeah.
So high risk reward matrix PSYOPs are very, very, very effective at getting an actual effective order.
Dude, you might not be dead. They said multiple people have changed their names to Prigozhin. Part of his efforts to obfuscate his travels. He's probably not stupid, dude. I don't know if
Oh,
he's
that's
dead.
hilarious.
Oh my god.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Like, somebody noted to me like that like all the network state meetups are like full of young dudes who like aren't gonna dig latrines, right? They're not gonna dig latrines, right? And like for in that scenario, like there was a bit of a misconception around like, well, you don't actually need to like build a brand new city. Like you can actually like just kind of start absorbing existing cities.
Yes.
But it does bring up another point, which is like you can't have a network state be sustainable with non-breeders, right? Like young people are like.
Depends on your timeline of how fast do you think this network state needs to prep the ranks or scale.
Yeah.
factors.
Well, so there's growing it, and then there's like how long is it going to be? Right?
But I don't think in multi-generational, just because I don't think we can predict that far out on what the future holds.
Well, I
think the battle's like.
There's a couple of reasons to think about that because young people are very fickle and transient, and so if you're trying to actually create, if you're trying to create a network state, like populating it with very young people that are gonna like change their mind next year is maybe not such a good idea. Versus people that are further along that maybe have families already, like if they make a commitment to something, that's like a 20-year commitment.
I think you need to populate the mind, and then your network state populates the world, and you populate it with, faith in a higher power.
But like the people that will be actually
Finding God.
I think the people that will actually make like real commitments to that and like movements towards that are going to be people with families and not like young dudes at meetups.
Because they love so much more, because they got a child to save.
Yeah, well, it's pretty easy to get like a bunch of like young people to do like get like excited about a thing for like a few months, but like
Families are way less likely to join death cults or doom
they're
cults.
much likely, they're literally not a death cult.
Yes.
Like they're literally like pro-life.
Family is the smallest life cult.
Yeah, and they don't.
You're in life cult, bro? Prove it.
They don't. They don't like. They're not like whimsical. They don't make decisions lightly, right?
Let's go.
Don't put on the video, please. But like once they do make a decision, like they're in it for the long haul. So like, I think like to actually have a network state, like you need like a very strong base that's like families and pro-family.
Yes.
I don't think anything will survive without that. Like, and then the young dudes, like the young people are like, they're your missionaries, and like they might only be in it for 3 months and you churn through them, but like they spread, they're good for spreading the memes, but they're not like that stable base that you need.
Facts. Meme lower half internet subculture kicked off by the professional generational family, higher tier.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, like you look at just look at like the protests of families like being like, stop teaching this bullshit in our schools, and like stop teaching this to our children. Like they care a lot about that, right?
Yeah.
And like that's a real fucking protest. Like they'll fight for that.
Right. It's good to see that.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck yeah. We're like, we need to see that we can resist in order to recognize our strength. You know? I love the meme of like, all the people are angry at the politician, and he's standing like on the edge of the cliff, and all the people are on a plank, which if they just walked off together, that guy would fall. You know?
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful message. I want to build the biggest network state in the world.
What's your network state gonna be?
Multifaceted. The higher order, like effective altruism fork, because I think that's been the most successful network state build, sort of Silicon Valley religion space, is systemic altruism. And that's really just like the biggest miss was the vibes. So they weren't looking at core driver problems. They weren't looking at the world as like an organism or meta-organism, new sphere, what have you. And that can come down to each way you sort of look at how do you do effective change. If you have a boat, I think I said this earlier, like don't bail the fucking water, patch the holes. So what are the core driving functions? And then you need to focus on vibes. You know, then it is about pushing out, you know, post-nihilism and fixing the meaning crisis, focusing on positive global philosophy spread. And then like AI alignment, rather than AI alignment being this bullshit future thing, it's like, oh, we build opposite of TikTok that aligns videos based on what gives people the most amount of inspiration. You know, what gets you off the app. It's literally the opposite algorithm. And what that actually does is makes a feed, which is fire. Like we've never made the cyberkinetic collective look for the highest vibes. It's like, I can project this out to say that is the God algorithm, is actually just the search for higher vibes. So you call that Holy Bible, and you also, you know, what is the biggest problem with Web3? It's onboarding. So Web3 social simply needs a fucking app like this, because you got a token inside of here and a wallet. And, you know, once you incentivize people to spread the good vibes, to pump their bag, how would a global philosophy emerge? Clearly through a meme religion.
Oh yeah, MLM-based religion, like that was spread very well.
That's what Frontier could have been if they executed right.
Yeah.
Yep. Recruiting people instead of paying for it.
When you have success in this field and you've left rabbit holes of a mimetic world order, like a Federal Reserve, decentralized intelligence agency, everything branded to the T, an idea of a moon party in 2042, because that's just a hyperstition that actually is kind of like a YouTuber level one, where you can go, we're throwing a fucking party on the moon, and you guys should make sure, save the date, 4/20/2042. And, you know, it's like all the fucking storytellers of the world are third graders being like, I'm going to make the biggest pizza party. You know, I'm gonna.
Can you smoke weed on the moon?
Fuck yeah.
You can smoke moon rocks on the moon.
God damn.
I don't think you can smoke in space.
No, you're in the suit, so you like.
Did you hear about that?
And when you get high on the moon, you say, I feel like I'm on the earth. Because when you get really high here, we say, I feel like I'm on the moon.
I'm on lunar time.
I'm like high as the earth, man.
Look at it way up there.
I'm in space.
Yeah, whenever you guys look at the fucking moon, just know that we're fucking going. That's what we're celebrating. Did you know if you split up the moon by every human on the planet, guess how many square feet we each get of moon fucking land?
We get a decent bit because the world population fits in like the size of
Tell me the number.
Angeles. So, if you fit in the size of Los Angeles, and the moon is about the size
Square
of
feet?
North America, then you just divide, what's the difference between Los Angeles and North America?
Atmosphere.
For every person.
Give me the square feet. We're going
I don't
square.
know the actual square feet.
Just give me a rip.
I have no clue. It's like, everyone gets like a square mile or something.
What is that in square feet?
What's the US in square feet? Minus
What's the answer?
contiguous
Everyone's got an entry
I don't
point.
think everyone gets square miles.
US square miles. Here we go. It is 3 million square miles. So, and if there's 300 million people, then we get like what, a tenth of a mile.
Sorry, there's 8 billion people.
Tenth of a square mile.
There's 8 billion people.
No, sorry, we're talking about I was thinking of the US population.
We're global. It's a global party on the moon. We'll have auto translators so you can talk to everybody, bro. It'll be chill.
Tenth, and then what's like a
1,000 square feet.
Everyone gets 1,000 square feet on the moon.
What's the answer?
I'm waiting for entries. Tom?
How many? What? What's the question?
If you split up the moon surface area by every human, how many? Look, everyone's getting an equal amount of moon plot to use their AGI to build their own part of the moon party, kind of Burning Man. You know, you each get your own camp.
How many square feet does the moon have?
Do you know the answer?
You just gotta vibe it out. Yeah, I do.
You should vibe it out.
You just gotta. What is like when you're listen to your supercomputer. Try to tune into that autistic function where people can see the numbers. Follow your intuition.
There's a lot of space on the moon, but the problem is that there's no atmosphere.
We're gonna have domes, or we're gonna genetically engineer ourselves.
Did you read this story recently about this fucking this woman that they sent to the space station so she could be the first woman to do a bunch?
Yeah, she drilled in the wall because she's going
She
crazy.
drilled a hole, but it's actually not the worst thing she did. Like
Poop.
she was like shitting and pissing everywhere, and she destroyed the toilet.
So it just smells terrible for
The
everyone.
eye test, and it actually
When was this?
over the past few years. Like,
It's gonna make everyone have mental breakdowns.
well, no. What's happened is that it's
It'd be tough.
basically that
I'll
used
get
to
used
have
to it.
it used to be the cleanest air,
No, it's not.
and now they can't get rid of the fucking shit. And there's like human
You see people
excrement, like oils, like everywhere.
That's
And
disgusting.
she brought in a bunch of extra radiation or something. So basically, it's like
Dude, let's airlock that bitch out, dude.
well, no, it's already unlivable.
Don't put that
All
out.
science experiments are
Jokes.
basically invalidated
Inhibited.
from the air particles and both the radiation. So like she basically destroyed the entire ISS.
Some dumb bitch.
Dude, she should go to jail.
The Russians are trying to make her go to jail.
Is she Russian?
But how many square? If she had a,
The Russians are charging her with international crime.
She's American?
She's either an American or Canadian. I didn't
Dude,
get that far.
fucking...
if she had
Better
a,
not be some dumb Canadian. What
Give her to
fucking
the
gay
Russians.
Canadian?
Just give her to the Russians. Let them handle it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
if she had a moon plot though, how many square feet would she have?
She would get kicked off the moon. She'd get voted off the moon.
Voted off the moon, dude. It's full
Just
of
say the
moon.
answer.
Are you PR? Are you PR
She's a
trained?
survivor.
Are you PR trained or something?
She'll get ejected
Wait,
out the airport.
so hold on. Why did we want to send her up in the first place? What was the whole point of that?
Oh, so she could be the first woman to do something.
James, did you hear my question?
And it turned out she's fucking
Alright.
crazy and went cycle
Answer.
on the...
60,000 square feet.
Really? Us close
She
with
was in
him.
like space and she was like demanding to be
this.
sent back, and they're like, oh,
We
well,
running that
like,
place. That's our
the
second
shuttle's
best
not
Dude,
for
and you could go
9 months.
all the way
And she was
underground,
like,
all the way
no,
up.
you send me a
But the
shuttle
moon is
now.
hollow, you know that.
And so she
It's a
was just
spaceship.
basically like acting
Yeah, I know.
out.
It's
so
the
that
Death
they could
Star
get rid of her.
in Star Wars.
Like,
It's not even the Death Star. It's actually the system
shit.
Yeah.
containing
You know, it's
humanity
full of shit.
because it was placed
Yeah,
there by
that's-
intelligent.
When Star Wars based
Yeah.
their skits up.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, there's like basically there's oils in every like all over like in the vents and everything.
Everything.
She broke the toilets.
Has a
She broke the American
base
toilets.
quality with
So they had to
just the
start
right
wearing
amount of
diapers.
philosophy.
Like,
If
they
you
started
dig deep into it.
accumulating,
You know what my
and
when
What
my
happened?
birthday
What
is?
happened?
the diapers
What?
started
You know when
accumulating,
my birthday is?
and that was leaking and
No.
like
May 4th.
yeah. So like
May the
it
force
wasn't
be
just
with
her.
you.
Like she
It's
broke.
strong.
She literally broke the
It's
toilet.
What do you
strong.
mean she
The
broke
force
it?
is strong.
Intentionally broke it?
She
The
intentionally
meme
broke
is
the toilet.
there.
Yeah. So
Prove it,
then
bro.
everybody
Move me
would
right
use
now.
the toilet.
What?
Dude, they should have airlocked
Move me
that
right now.
shit.
Lift me up.
They should've,
Prove
yeah.
it.
They should have given
What do you
her...
mean?
Your force.
I was gonna say give her a spacesuit, but no, don't even waste a spacesuit
No, no.
on her, dude.
Dude,
Literally
so
put it on.
she like was supposed to like do like a spacewalk to like fix something.
Yes, what, she was trained to do a fucking walk, an EVA? It's called an EVA.
Well, she was trained.
She was trained, she was gonna do an EVA.
You're already
She
there
did.
in my mind.
She
It's
did.
all
Twice.
subjective
What?
experience. So I
She
would know
lost
this
the toolkit twice,
Are you fucking serious?
and then they were down to like there's like only 2 more toolkits left, and like they all refused to get like let her use any more toolkits. So she
She
could
lost 2 of the toolkits?
yeah into the void. Yeah.
What did... I don't want to say all my views because we're on video, but Why don't you pause it for a second?
The four of us in this room right now are effectively a guild. Why did I say a guild? We've come together to talk about a problem space, and we've come together in the context of actually doing a solution. Well, we didn't really come together in that context, but it seems to be, we're all solution-minded. When somebody once stood up in a conference room, how could we have civil conversations online about politics? My answer was World of Warcraft meets global sense-making. Why did I say that? It's because when humans come into guilds to do epic quests, how World of Warcraft is, you know, the Legends of Zelda and whatever, and you are going into a cave, and what are we doing is the guild in World of Warcraft is. You know, that guy over there is going to drive this tank, and this person is going to wield these swords, and this person is going to do this, and they are playing roles in a Warcraft sort of thing. But what are they doing? But what are they doing is they are problem solving. They are inventing a solution. How can we win this battle? And it's against a quest to save Zelda or whatever. And this goes on. Haven't read the rest. We're on a fucking epic quest.
You said someone sent this to you?
Yeah, Jacob.
Oh, interesting.
He's guild vibes. Questing vibes. I've been calling it questing vibes. For
Adam, can you explain what his startup is?
Idea flow.
He raised a ton of money. Right?
Yeah.
There's like 18 mil.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does it do?
Sort of.
Too many questions.
Hmm?
You're asking too many questions.
Yeah, no, it's just solves. It solves.
I really like the guy.
It aligns.
Yeah.
It aligns the world.
That's pretty
It's
big.
actually, yeah, it's undervalued for what it does though, because it's gonna align the world. No, I'm just joking. It's like tools for network thought. It's kind of similar to Obsidian in terms of releasing like first a note-taking tool, but he's much bigger minded. He just hasn't had. He's been overpaying for SF ammunition, which is why I just ran. Getting sent 4,000 people.
Sounds like Obsidian.
An assignment to build a piece of this thing, because like people just don't like unless you test people's shipping speed prior to hiring to them. Some people just don't fucking ship. The only way you can find people who fucking ship is by giving a mass amount of people an assignment first.
So it's like a note taking.
Seeing that they fucking ship, and then being like, wow, you ship shit quick. You know, that's the only way you nag these people. Numbers, automation.
Wait, did you say you hired 4,000 people?
So no, we got 4,000 applicants for a position.
Got it.
He raised that money like 3 years ago, and he like hasn't fully shipped.
Okay, that seems like more of a 3 years ago round size. That makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah, it's just time to fucking ship shit.
So he's building a note-taking app?
Meta ephemeral.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean there's definitely larger concept ideas in terms of, you know, networked thought and ways to kind of categorize semantic information between people. He's in the right idea space.
Run research?
Yeah, similar vibes, for sure.
Got it. Okay.
The thing is, he's building the app. A protocol will do this.
The app vision is going to read our mind and network our thoughts that way.
Yeah, I think this layer will exist where the data capture layer is, and I think that the data capture layer will exist on the current messaging platforms, particularly iMessage or SMS. So it's agents inside of iMessage
I
groups.
think that the data capture will happen, right?
Direct. Yeah, I guess I'm.
I think direct is 5 years out.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of leverage.
What they're doing with vision is pretty interesting. Like it's like you don't need to directly wire into your brain.
For high bandwidth transfer, you, I think, need to get inside the brain. Like I think there's too much loss function.
There's a lot you can do with
BCI.
context and inference.
That's true. But I think for the level of what we're talking about, which is full textual data of someone's mind read, which is like how we actually form the semantic understanding web.
Yeah, but what you're talking about is somebody writing and or speaking notes,
Yeah.
and like I think that the amount of that happening with the Apple Vision is going to be like exponentially higher.
Thank you. Still will go through a messaging protocol.
It will.
And so, yeah, definitely owning the messaging protocol is
Whoever wins that wins it all.
massive. But if your play is to well,
It's where the machines will dance as well.
right, but they're gonna dance inside iMessage, not like a new application layer.
They'll use
There's not enough public push to like Signal is niche.
Yeah, I agree. But do you know the Matrix protocol?
You told me about it earlier.
You know what else it does? It connects to every single messenger in the world. You can send a message from Matrix to any other messaging network.
That's similar like text.com.
Better than text.com using a protocol that's encrypted and decentralized.
I think Text.com is using Matrix.
It's not. Beeper is. But basically, using that, I can send a message to iMessage. It's so nice that I have to show it to you right now.
Is there a phone app? That's the key.
Phone notes are out, man. It's all PWAs now.
Not mass market.
It is. It is. Just add to the home screen.
But that's still not mass.
It's pretty easy to adopt.
For us, we have to realize that we are not mass.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised what people will figure out.
What's the biggest add to home screen thing? Like,
Basically, all of Asia like bootlegs all of their apps.
okay, so when it's a need, when people care enough, then they'll do it. So like hard government control or concerns of a certain network can lead towards the higher entry networks or higher barrier.
But that's most of the world.
Yes.
Like most of the world doesn't have access and they bootleg everything.
Mm-hmm.
So America is left behind.
Yeah, I'd love to see. I would definitely love to see a really good version of text.com or
This
some.
is it.
Yeah.
It's called Beeper. It uses the Matrix protocol.
And
you can message everything from this one unique UI.
do you use it through your phone?
And yes, I do.
You have the add to home screen thing?
No, it's a mobile app.
Oh, it has an app.
Yeah, iOS and Android.
Nice. Can I see it on the phone?
The only problem with it is it doesn't do tagging.
He likes organization.
Mm.
What do you
And
think
you
of-
use text.com for that reason?
So no. Let me go back to my initial thing. Basically, you can build bots on Matrix that can operate on iMessage. That's my point.
Mm.
You can build AI systems that are interoperable on every single chat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the power. You're hacking the Matrix. That's why it's called Matrix.
So is this was okay, so that's Telegram, WhatsApp. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I love that these are getting a lot better.
It's so good.
It's very emergent. So this is, yeah, I'll download this. Thanks.
But so basically, that's why.
But yeah, bots that live on top of the network states of iMessaging apps.
Yeah.
So a neighborhood iMessage agent or text agent that you just talk to and tell like what you want. I actually just built this or built the team for it for Christine Peterson, founded the Foresight Institute. Also met her at Ephemerisle. Ephemerisle had many very, very cool motherfuckers. So big acceleration.
Damn, I'm pissed that I didn't go. I was supposed to.
Dude, Do you guys know if Martin Shkreli is like around here, or is he just pretending he is?
I don't know.
I think he
From
is.
New York.
He probably
Yeah, I
is
think
popping
he's-
out the SF now that he's doing AI
I
company.
think he's tethered to New York
Oh.
with an ankle bracelet.
That's funny.
I think I gotta go to bed. It's 1:20. Jack, you.
Yeah, no, I'm coming. Matrix.
It's the protocol to the moon.
Is this an app? It's called Matrix.
No.
Nah, it's the protocol.
Beeper.
I'm forking Matrix.
But why not Matrix?
It doesn't have Web3 functionality. So I'm building an incentive layer of incentivized Matrix nodes.
But it's still gonna be Matrix, which is like
Yeah,
You're
I'm just
extending
building, yeah, I'm just extending it.
Why does your front end get better user capture though?
I'm building a marketplace for AI agents. Well, I'm just building character AI first, and then on top of that, I'll layer in other AI agents.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the idea of whoever builds the biggest like character or agent type of Venture Studio on top of all messaging protocols, leading that back to your main front end is a great way to value capture on top.
Oh yeah, that's the game.
The dude is.
whoa, somebody made a friend tech lending
See
market.
it?
Yes, sir.
Money market, nice.
A